And sure enough, it was the first woman that I had ever heard preach a couple years ago, now up there speaking at this church that I was at. I'm like, this is so cool, no way. So Alex Seeley walks out, and she gets on the stage. I'll never forget it. If you've ever seen Alex Seeley preach, she is a firecracker. That girl is preaching. But she walks out very slowly, and she leans over her table just like this, and she goes, I'm not going to preach my message tonight. She said, the Lord just told me to speak a word over someone's life. And she said, and this word I feel like is serving as a reminder to someone in here. And so she said, if God repeats himself to any of you, then you better be listening. And I'm sitting here like, what is about to happen? This is cool. Somebody's about to get a word. And she goes, the word is Hanini. I'm like, because that is not a common word, y'all. You just don't hear that often. She's like, the word is Hanini. And she said, I feel like someone has recently said to God, here I am with no limits and no distractions. And she said, but yet you've come here and you have a lot of limits and a lot of distractions. And I want to tell you tonight to drop your safety net, drop your limits, drop your distractions, and actually tell God to send you. Y'all, when I tell you I was about to fall out of my chair, I was like, whoa. So needless to say, after that, I dropped the net. I dropped all the safety nets I had. I ended up leaving the agency that I was a part of, leaving the management I was a part of, breaking up with the guy that I was dating. Literally anything that was prohibiting me to fully follow Jesus full force, got rid of and followed Jesus. About 1 month later, I'm still on this tour because the tour was 3.5 months long, still preaching about David and Goliath, and even people on tour were starting to notice a difference in me. My speaking turned into preaching. I wasn't memorizing things, but I was really letting the Spirit lead through me. It's crazy how God can turn someone who is so anxious and filled with anxiety they can't even speak or read in class and yet make them into a bold preacher. He did that for me, and he also did the very same thing to Peter. He did the same thing for Moses, and he did the same thing for many people in the Bible. It's the character of who God is. It's the power of a testimony, y'all. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. Experience that firsthand. One of those nights of me preaching on this tour for 10 minutes as I moved the stage, a couple came to see their friend Crowder, and that couple's name was Louie and Shelley Giglio. They saw me preach, and as the time I got off the stage, they were sitting there, and they spoke a word over me that I was so shook by. I don't even know if I really believed them at the time. They said, Sadie, God is going to use your voice to speak to this generation. And then Louie said, I want to invite you to preach at Passion City Church. I was like, what? I was like, I don't know if you know this, but 10 minutes is my max time I've ever preached before. You're looking at it. 10 minutes, David and Goliath. And he said, no, God's going to do something through you. I want you to come preach at our college night. It'll be in May. This was March. And I said yes. And I said yes, even though I was absolutely terrified because I knew that's what God called me to do. And people say what God calls you to, he equips you for. And that is 100% absolutely true. So my life since then has been full-on ministry for the past, 6 years, I guess that's been. And I don't say it's been ministry since the time I spoke at Passion. It's been ministry since the time I dropped my nets. Because ministry is not limited to a platform. Ministry is not limited to church or to Tuesday night at Breakaway. Ministry is when you drop your net, you repent, and you turn the other way and you follow Jesus. I want us to stop separating the idea of ministry in our everyday life, friends. I want us to stop seeing our relationship with Jesus as a part of our story, and I want us to get to the point of seeing it as our whole story. I know it's hard to learn how to merge these things because we've been so trained to compartmentalize our life.